Hi, I'm Rob, pastor of Calvary Chapel, Turlock. Abraham, that great man of faith, was a fearless warrior. Normally, when someone speaks of biblical Abraham, I don't think of a soldier, but he was very effective at war. He fought 4 kings from the east and their armies that came and conquered the cities of Canaan and carried away his nephew Lot as a captive. For those of you who like military history or military strategy, it's very risky to divide your forces in the face of a stronger enemy. In fact, most tactics manuals would tell you, never divide your forces in the face of a stronger enemy. But Abraham made a calculated move. He wanted to hit these foreign invaders from 2 sides at night, to overwhelm them with fear. We don't know the number of the army of the kings of the east, but it was far more than the company of 318 that Abraham led into battle. His one chance was to surprise them at night, hit them from 2 sides, and allow the confusion and fear of night to do its work. And that's exactly what Abraham did. With 318 of his own servants armed for battle, he pursued the kings of the east all the way north to Dan, attacked them from 2 sides at night, and soundly defeated the enemy with a great slaughter. Abraham is a great example for us, men. This is what men should be. Men are protectors and providers. That's who we are. We may not lead men into actual physical combat, but we are the ones who demand justice, and we willingly put ourselves in harm's way to achieve justice. When Abraham learned that Lot had been taken, he went to get him. He armed his men and set off in hot pursuit of a much stronger enemy. There was no plan for retreat or surrender. This was a do-or-die mission. Do we think that America would be in its current moral and spiritual state if men were truly the protectors and providers that God called us to be, like Abraham? If we were that sort of men as a nation, would we see so many broken families, children raised without fathers, sexually explicit material in our children's schools, boys in girls' locker rooms, pink-haired, nose-pierced, and bloated-body protesters on the streets of America? It's a colossal failure of men in our society, of not being the type of men that God created us to be. Men, true men, are spiritual and moral leaders. We are very concerned for right and wrong, for preserving decency and justice. And when we see gross miscarriage of justices in our land, it should boil our blood. It should drive us to take action. When adult men pretend to be women and go into female spaces, like locker rooms and bathrooms, and disrobe in front of other women, including little girls, or when men exhibit themselves stark naked down the streets of our largest cities in gay pride parades, or when drag queens perform grotesque sexualized dances in front of little children, real men take action. Real men stand up for the innocent. Real men seek justice. I'm not talking about vigilante justice. We have to stay within the law. This is not a call to senseless violence. But we should raise the voice of righteousness to our culture. We should speak the voice of truth to a lost nation. We should be very visible in our protest against perversion and depravity in our society. But too often we are passive, weak, and afraid of controversy. Too many Christian men have passively hidden themselves in the background of American culture to avoid conflict. Contemporary America has completely lost what it means to be a man. But we need to recover that truth in the American evangelical church. Men, let's stand up and protect our families from the ravages of sin and from being captured by secular philosophy. Let's protect our churches from compromising with the world. And men, let's be the voice of truth for our nation. The church and the culture are a lot stronger when men fulfill their roles as protectors and providers. Now more than ever, the church needs real men, men like Abraham, who put themselves on the front lines of justice. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.